The Avengers Doomsday special look just dropped at D23, and I've watched it 4 times already. Because every single time I think I've processed it, something else hits me. Let me take you through exactly what happened. Because this wasn't just a trailer, this was Marvel telling us what kind of movie Doomsday actually is. And it's not what anyone expected. It opens with Sue Storm narrating, and immediately that's interesting. He used to be different. 4 words, and suddenly Doctor Doom isn't a villain anymore. He's a person, someone who changed, someone who used to be something else entirely, and Sue Storm, who knew that version of him, is the one telling us he's gone. The special look then confirms what that change was. Doctor Doom lost his wife and child. They were taken from him, and the man who used to be kind, who used to care about people, died in that moment. What came back wasn't Victor Von Doom the scientist. Wasn't Victor Von Doom the sorcerer. It was something that decided if love leads to loss. They all had plans. They all had goals. Doctor Doom has a wound, and he's been building an entire empire around making sure nobody else gets hurt the same way he did. That is a completely different kind of threat, and it makes him the most human villain the MCU has ever created. Hit subscribe if you're as obsessed with this film as I am, because I am covering every single detail between now and December 18th. Then the special look shows us something nobody was prepared for. Doctor Doom raises an army of Sentinels, dead ones, destroyed ones, scattered across the multiverse, and he pulls them back, brings them to life, under his command. Let that sink in for a second. The machines specifically built to hunt and destroy mutants, resurrected by the man the Avengers are trying to stop, which means every X-Men character in this film, Cyclops, Gambit, Magneto, Mystique, Professor X, is now facing the thing they've spent their entire lives running from, except now it answers to Doom. And the implication of this is massive. Doom doesn't just have power over technology, he has power over death itself. He can raise things that shouldn't exist. And then the moment that hit the D23 crowd harder than anything else in the special look. Chris Evans and Haley Atwell walked onto that stage together, live, in person, as Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter, the 2 people who got their happy ending at the endgame, the slow dance, the retirement, the life they finally got to live together. And Evans looked at the crowd and said Steve Rogers was so close to getting his happy ever after at the end of Endgame. We should have known better. I don't know why that line hit me the way it did. Maybe because Steve Rogers getting that ending felt so earned. 7 feeling every sacred lost, and now he's back. Whatever this unthinkable decision is big enough to pull a retired man out of the life he finally got to live. And Peggy is back with him, which means whatever brings Steve back into this fight, it's personal enough that she comes too. And then Doom speaks. For the first time, real dialogue. Robert Downey Jr., the man who built the MCU as Tony Stark for 15 years, in a completely different voice, a different accent, a different energy entirely. Hell answers to me, for I am Doom. The D23 crowd lost their minds, and honestly, watching it at home, so did I. Because that line isn't a threat, it isn't a monologue, it's a statement of fact. Doom doesn't compare himself to anyone, doesn't claim to be inevitable or unstoppable. He just tells you what is. Hell answers to him, because he is Doom. And that's simply what Doom is. Robert Downey Jr. said when he took this role, I played the best hero, now I'll play the best villain. That closing line is the proof. This special look was 2 minutes and 9 seconds. And in 2 minutes and 9 seconds, a man who lost his family, who used to be kind, who now commands armies of the dead, who makes Steve Rogers come out of retirement, and whose closing line to the entire universe is 5 words. December 18th genuinely cannot come fast enough. Because honestly, I think it's both, and I think that's exactly what Marvel intended. I'll see you in the next one.